Hi everyone, hope you're well. So I'm here to talk about a challenge we had with a client the other day. So the client was interested to embed Tableau in a Salesforce Experience Cloud community, and we just couldn't do it. So before I get in details, so if you're not familiar with Experience Cloud, this is a way for people to build websites without writing any code. It's super awesome. You can leverage loads of pre-built features to have multiple tenants, multiple customers. It takes care of all the workflows and details for you, and you can have really nice and branded websites. So this is a product from Salesforce, and there's another product called a Mobile Publisher. With the Mobile Publisher, you kind of wrap your portal into a mobile app, which can be deployed into the iOS and iPad app stores and as well as Android stores. So it's a click of a button. It's amazing. You get a fully branded app for your no-code website. So that's it. And now customers want to embed Tableau, right? Which is one of the best, or if not the best, analytics engine in the market. So you want to embed some analytics. Basically, every product nowadays needs some analytics, like most of them. So they don't want to build that capability. They want to buy ready. And there's a challenge with iOS. Essentially, iOS prevents people from embedding third-party content because of the tracking protection. So let me give you some background on this. So this is a message from March 2020 when the COVID issue was kind of beginning, but this is coming from way before that. It's just getting worse and worse, if I can say worse in the like a connotation way of the sense of the word, because it's a really good thing. I mean, Apple is putting more protections to protect people, to give more privacy, and yeah, there are a lot of tracking cookies, right? Third-party cookies. However, it's just considering that a lot of third-party applications need to be integrated and rely on third-party cookies. So these are genuine cookies that should not be blocked. And what happens is they are giving end users the ability to themselves enable those third-party cookies. So here's a little page from Apple's website. There's a setting which is enabled by default on Safari, Mac, as well as on iOS devices that prevents cross-site tracking. The name cross-site tracking here is super general. We're talking specifically what this does is blocks third-party cookies. And like I said, there are genuine cookies you don't want to block, otherwise systems will break. So luckily, Safari has this option for end users. They can simply disable, untick this, and everything works. And this option is also available on Safari for iPhone, iOS, and iPad. This is it, prevent cross-site tracking. Now, if developers are building an application to run on iOS or iPad OS, it actually uses a different web engine, WebKit engine than Safari. Somehow Safari has some sort of privilege treatment that if you do allow third-party cookies, you do manage to get third-party content in Safari. However, any iOS app will not be able to do that. And that is a big, big issue. There are dozens, if not thousands, if not millions of companies struggling with that. Thank you, Apple. And here you have a discussion here, a bug in the WebKit Bugzilla website. This is one of the many pages you find on the internet. Intelligent tracking protection causes issues for hybrid web view apps using cookies for authentication, etc. Or in other words, for genuine use cases. And this is from 2020, and there are loads of discussions. And you see, this is end of 21. Today is January 22nd. This problem has no solution. There are some horrible workarounds out there, but really, really no solution. Only Apple can fix that. So here, when we are trying to embed Tableau in this app, we're just one of the million companies suffering from the issue. So together with some colleagues, I came up with this idea of how can we make that device believe that there are no third-party cookies. So we want to go away completely from the issue, right? We are running away from the issue. So essentially, I want this device to believe any cookies coming from third parties, in this case, Tableau, is a first-party cookie, right? So how do we do that? Well, then this is the kind of architecture I designed with some colleagues. So essentially, what we need to do is, in the eyes of the device, put everything behind the same domain. So a third-party cookie is a cookie that's coming not from the domain of the main website you are accessing. The main website is the first domain, the first-party domain. All cookies generated by the website you access are the first-party cookies. Any embedded content coming from a separate system here will be deleted by iOS, and those are the third-party cookies. So if we put everything in the same domain, if we trick the device to think everything comes from the same domain, we completely get away of the problem. And that's what this architecture is all about. Here we have the Experience Cloud Community, which is the main website this app is accessing. The community we put behind this domain here, so sf.twiki.live. In my case, this is my example. And we put in our DNS server, we managed to point this to the actual DNS record of that community. So that would be this place here. Salesforce supports custom domains. So essentially, what we are doing is we are saying here, Salesforce, this tenant, instead of SDO main blah 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 .force.com, you're gonna be running now at salesforce.twiki.live. And it gave me this kind of details for me to register some sort of redirect, right? Whenever someone accesses this, it's actually under the hood accessing this website here, which is this one. And here I also configured a custom route because the community, the actual website we built in Experience Cloud is accessible via professional/s. And so we created a custom URL there to point this sftwiki.live points to, I just called go s. Uh, and that's, yeah, so that's what we point to the app. When we deploy the app on the App Store, we are pointing to this guy here, sftwiki.live.gogo.s. So that's the first domain. The first party cookies will come from this guy. The third-party cookies then will come from Tableau. Here we have Tableau. The browser or the app, the device, will also need to get some visualizations from Tableau. And what we did, we used in this case a reverse proxy. I used Nginx. You can use whatever you like. We have a good documentation on how you configure Tableau to run under a reverse proxy. The only requirement, it has to be the root here. So in this case, twiki.live. So what we do is when we embed content here, we are using this URL, which is now, look, this is the same domain. Twiki.live is the one domain here, twiki.live, sf.twiki.live. It's still under the twiki.live domain. It's a subdomain of twiki.live. So any cookies generated for sf.twiki.live are seen here as cookies from the same domain as quickie.live. So we have that's it. That's basically it. This is gonna look like twiki.live. And then we have a little piece of authentication element here, which in my case, that's an option, how you're gonna authenticate to the single sign-on here in Tableau. Because essentially the customer will have to sign in anyway against Salesforce. That is the place they type their credentials against Salesforce. Now, I don't want the customers to have to sign in also in Tableau. I want to use single sign-on. I chose the SAML protocol, and I chose to use Salesforce Identity as the identity provider. Because we already have the users in Salesforce, the credentials are managed by Salesforce, so I can simply make Tableau a connected app to Salesforce, right? And make it act as an identity provider for Tableau server, which will be serving the content. Tableau is the service provider for this identity provider. So what we need to do is when I configure Tableau and Salesforce with SAML protocol, I pointed the configurations of here to this kind of URL here. This is, sorry, I pointed the configurations in Tableau for the SAML provider using the custom domain. So that's the same here for Salesforce, right? sf.twiki.live and Gogo, and I have an IDP that was created for that community. So I use this metadata for the community here. And once that's done, those two are integrated using both the public website for Tableau and the public website for the SAML IDP provider. Again, everything is coming from the same domain. And amazing, it just works. So this actually worked. It took a little while, but now, yeah, I'm going to show you in action. So first, let me show you Safari here on my computer, just so you see the problem in action. So enough of talking. So this is prevent cross-strike tracking. I'm here on a community page, a sample community page where I have a dashboard embedded. The dashboard will appear once I sign in. And you see that prevent cross-site tracking is enabled just as you would with any new Mac or iOS you get. If I click on dashboard, you will not see the dashboard. It will never be able to sign in. So you see this horrible message. Your customers shouldn't ever know that the content comes from Tableau. So this is not what we want. So what I'm going to do now is just show you what happens when we untick this box and refresh. Like I said, it works fine in Safari. And if I would show you this in Safari on iOS, it would have worked in the exact same way. You would see the content coming from Tableau. And I can also show you the cookies here. If you're curious to see, I go to storage and just bear with me. This is a little slow here. We have cookies coming from two places, from Salesforce cookies. And you can see the domain here, or the Salesforce domain. And we have the Tableau cookies coming from the Tableau domain in this demo. Right, so now let me pull up my iPad to show you a live demo of this thing. Let's do it. I'm just trying to share my screen here. There we go. This is my iPad, and I will open now this application, which is the Mobile Publisher Playground. It's just a very handy way and easy way to showcase how your community page will look like once you deploy as an app to the App Store. You can play here by typing the URL of your community. Let me just log out so you see from scratch. When you start, you actually get this to type the URL of your community. So here I'm showing you already the one which is using the common domain, twiki.life in my case. I'm going to click continue with my finger here on the screen. Now it's accessing the community. I'm not logged in yet, so you don't see the dashboard yet. It's asking me to sign in because I need to see protected content. So I'm going to go here and sign in. I'm typing, but you can't see in this screen sharing. Just bear with me. Log in. All right, this is coming in a second. All right, so it's coming up. Now I signed in against Salesforce, and the content from Tableau is embedded here, and it's signing in for us. It knows the user. I put the name here, so Tableau is recognizing the correct user, and now we have beautiful content embedded nicely. You can't even tell that this content comes from Tableau. It's fully interactive here. I can click on some marks. I can maybe use some filters here to change the years. Or maybe change the segment. Maybe let's put just the home office segment. There we go. So this works absolutely as expected. I don't know if you appreciate, but to get to this stage was really a struggle until we found out how to actually configure that architecture, as I showed you. So that's it, guys. Let me know if this is going to a blog post with all the details, how we configured SAML, how we configured the domain, how we configured our custom DNS in Salesforce and all that. So yeah, feel free to let us know if you have any questions. And yeah, take care.